Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue 2024, organized by the Indian Navy and the National Maritime Foundation, had experts from across the world in attendance. Some of them took time out to talk to StratNews Global about the situation in the region and what it means for the rest of the world. Welcome to StratNews Global. I'm Ramananda Sengupta. We have with us today Dr. Hassan Khannenje, Director of the Horn International Institute for Strategic Studies in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you so much. I know you're in a hurry to get back to the session. I appreciate you taking time out.
Thanks for having me.
Sir, let's start with the beginning. What brings you here? I mean, what do you see as Kenya's role in the Indo-Pacific?
Kenya is a regional anchor state and a critical player in the East African region of the coast of the Indian Ocean. And it is an important player, and especially at a time when especially maritime geopolitics have become extremely important in shaping the direction of the world economy. Right. It is important that Kenya, not only is it involved, but that Kenya plays a more instrumental role and more leadership role, not just within the East African coast, but within the African subcontinent.
So, there is this slight difference of opinion about what the Indo-Pacific means to various countries. For instance, for the Americans, it's only up to the Indonesia. For India, it's all the way up to Africa. Where would you sort of classify your Kenya's range of sort of operations? Does it stretch all the way to the US coast?
Yes, a number of countries on the continent are affected, especially in the Indo-Pacific. All the way, just in Kenya, there's Tanzania, there's Mozambique, going down to Southern Africa and Madagascar. And all these countries, of course, they're within the theater of the Indo-Pacific, within the African context, or they are affected directly or indirectly by the dynamics of what happens in the Indo-Pacific region.
Of course. Sir, I'm just curious, how large would you describe Kenya's navy as? And how big a navy is it?
India has been very critical, especially in the theater there, and in a number of ways. One that is most prominent is in security, maritime security. It has been very instrumental in dealing with piracy threats.
Yes. That's why I wanted
of the coast, of East Africa and Somalia, and it's probably one of the biggest players in maritime security of the coast of East Africa, and we expect that role is going to continue to expand. Further, India is a country that also has strategic interests in a collaboration, especially with the countries on the coast of East Africa, in jointly being able to explore the maritime resources that lie not just offshore, but also around those countries. And I think to the extent that India is re-engaging in a way that is more robust, not only does it promise to bring benefits to those countries off the coast of East Africa, but I think it's something that is going to be mutually beneficial for both India as well as countries in the East African coast.
One last question, if I may. Sir, would Kenya be comfortable, let's say, getting into joint patrols in the South China Sea, given the tensions and the politics involved there?
Sure. Kenya's naval assets are still limited, considering it does not have the power to project beyond I think the immediate neighborhood. However, I think to the extent that it can be able to collaborate, let's say, with the Indian naval or the Indian Navy, it's likely that it may be able to extend its reach. But I think its immediate its capacity generally is to focuses mostly on the immediate region of the East African coast.
Wonderful. And so, is this your first visit to India?
This is my second time to India.
Okay.
And it's been a good experience.
Okay. And what was your first impressions of the conference, this one? Are you happy with what you've been hearing here, or?
No, I think this conference comes at a particularly important time, in world history and in geopolitics. And to the extent that India is hosting this conference, which is not the first time it's doing, remember, India has demonstrated to be a leader of the global South. And I think it speaks volumes that India is actually the one organizing this, especially insofar as Africa's engagement is concerned with regard to maritime geopolitics.
Great. I won't keep you anymore, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you taking time out.
Thanks for having me.